What is true love?
I mean, I think that's
That's
the
a good
part that I'm
question.
struggling with is because to me, love is an action word, right? So true love, it's like what people define it as is incredibly subjective. Someone may sit there and say that it's actually true love when it's not. It's just love, lust, or infatuation, lust and infatuation. So you have to have a really centered individual to fully understand what true love is
Or
first
infatuation.
before you can say that you've let it slip away.
Go ahead, Sherman. I know you sitting over there thinking, man. What is true love? What
Yeah.
comes to mind? You ain't got to think too hard on it, man.
Nah, I mean, because like I'm thinking about it like, okay, when you're with your woman, or love when it comes to your child, or love when it comes to your homie or your mama or your daddy. And I feel like all of those are different, you know what I'm saying? And they could be defined differently. But then it's like I feel like it takes time for you to say, this person loves me, you know what I mean? Or like I have love for this person, because I feel like it's more so how that person makes you feel. And if you feel that that person has your back, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be, or that person is selfless when it comes to the way that they treat you. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you define love, it's kind of like it just depends on the person. It's very subjective to me, because somebody will say, "Oh, bro, I love you," but then the next day, "Hey, man, I'm stranded. Or can you help me move?" Oh, no, fuck that. I ain't about to do all that though. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, or it's like, because when we think about showing love, it's kind of like, okay, what is even showing love? Being there for somebody, checking up on them. Hey, like Ali said, it's an action word, because there'll be some
Mhm.
people that'll be, crying at your funeral. You know what I'm saying, acting like they super hurt, and they won't help you with something. But then you meet somebody for a month, and they'll be there for you, hold you down, show up, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to
Yeah.
define that like in just a single, trance. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, say if you outside and you fall down and you hurt, a stranger could come and assist you, be there for you, call the police, take off their shirt, tie you up if they bleeding. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
probably say that that's care. If somebody, a complete
Mhm.
stranger, I probably wouldn't say that that's love. I don't think they love you.
I mean, you
And
love, you showing love to another human being, bro,
Mm.
by doing that. I feel like it's like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like love thyself, like love thy neighbor like you love thyself. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you could love humanity, to an extent where like you're selfless and you help other people. Because if somebody could say they love, a piece of cheesecake, or love a drink, or love a sandwich, you know what I mean? But it's hard for you to say, okay, I love my neighbor, or I love this, or I love that. You know what I mean? Because somebody be like, oh, I hate this person, but I love this piece of candy, or I love, you know, shit, a celebrity or something that they never met, that never did anything for them.
What about you,
like
Angela?
mm,
I agree when somebody said that people have different understandings of what love is, and I think we have to separate what people just say they love, so freely, and what people actually do love. And what I thought about was, I think love is the willingness to participate in the well-being of the person, like having a high regard for that person's well-being and being willing to participate in that. So
All right. Go ahead, Miss Kelly.
I feel like true love in regards to a relationship, because we are speaking of that today. I think it's when you care so much about a person, you love them so much, you are willing to never give up, no matter how flawed they are, um, the negative things that they may say when they're mad. Um, you just have to accept that person for like who they are and never give up on them, because I feel like if you get to a point where you give up, then that means that it's really not true love.
A while back, I began to really dig into into love, the feeling, the emotion, the action, everything that everyone said. Um, and to piggyback off of Kelly, I think that there's so many different ways to look at love. Like one of the instances that you were describing was is something that they call twin flames, and twin flames is like this person that you essentially can't get away from, right? There's always something that happens, that occurs, that brings you two back together, and everything goes back to normal or as if it never happened. I want to say potentially Forrest Gump and Jenny would be a great example of what a twin flame is. Um, Now, I'm not sure if I think that a twin flame and true love is necessarily considered the same thing, though, because you can love someone from a distance. It can be that clash that may happen, but due to the conditions um, of the love, you can still love them and love them from a distance, and even possibly say that that's a true love, just because the love is still there. I think that true love is, I think true love is the attachment to the person. Um, and I don't know if man, it's just so many different ways to look at it. Um, hmm. I think that you can have multiple true loves, honestly. And I think that that can go across the board of being men and women as well. There's some of my homies that I grew up with that I love truly, and there are some female friends that I'm cool with in this the same way. So I think that it's one of those deals of where it's potentially mutual, um, but it's more so the attachment to it. I don't know if I just rambled right there, but hopefully that makes sense.
So attachment.
I would say at the surface level, for sure. I would even go to the extent of challenging everyone's thought that hate, love, and lust are all the same feelings, emotions, and actions.
What do you mean by that? Like, because I feel like what popped in my brain when you said that was like if like I've said this before in situations where it's like if you truly loved me, it wouldn't have been in you to say something so hateful. So it's like that to me has always been a red flag of someone who isn't truly in love with the other person is if they have it in them to say something hateful. Is that I'm kind of getting my wires crossed here, you know?
To an extent, yeah. In order to hate someone, you have to have the same amount of passion that you would have if you love someone. Um, Now the way that they use it, of course, but I think that it is possible to be in a relationship with someone that loves you so much that they hate you to the extent where they'll sabotage it, the relationship.
If I had to
E-
define, go ahead. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
Even with lust, I think that lust is just the first stages of love. If you get past that first initial stage of the honeymoon stage, then that becomes love. but initially anything that you're passionate about, if you abuse it to someone else perspective, then they can very much say that you lusted. You lust after this idea, you lust after this passion, this desire, this person. When it's arguable that that person could very much just be in love with it. It just depends on where they take it and what it is that they do with it from there.
I got you. If I had to define what true love is to me, true love is a deep connection that goes beyond attraction. It's love for someone for who they are and no matter what they do and without expecting anything in return. True love is sacrificial, it's self giving and merciful. That's how I define true love.